If you want to tell everyone kind of where you were playing last year and just maybe how you got into hockey as kind of an introductory period here.
Yeah, thank you. I was playing in Rhode Island at Mount St. Charles last year for the 16U team, and I think I got into hockey just going to the rink around me for public skate when I was really young with my dad, but I don't know, it wasn't too much of a pleasant experience at first. I think my skates were like pretty dull, so it wasn't too fun, but it got better after that.
Ryan joining us, not from Canada now, obviously, in Dubuque, but coming over from Canadian juniors last year. What's the experience been like in Dubuque so far?
It's definitely been different. There's a lot of work we do, like day in, day out, packed schedule. And definitely Dubuque puts in the mindset that you got to get better every day. So it's definitely a change, and I like it.
How did you get into hockey as well? What were your earliest memories?
Earliest memories, I don't know. I just all I can remember is having skates on, and then I guess I'd always go to the shinny rinks and skate around, and then just played with my buddies all the way up.
Absolutely. Michael, you're 3 now, I believe, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Third full year
there. So you obviously have plenty of experience here for Dubuque, not necessarily an introduction needed there, but kind of tell us what you've been working on since we last saw you, and do you feel a big difference between last year and this year coming back to camp?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously confidence is a lot better than years before. Obviously just being comfortable with the staff and pretty much how the team goes about their day every day, and like the practice plan and stuff. And I think I'm a lot more ready like hockey wise this year than I was in the past.
Next up on the screen, another defenseman coming back from last year's team, Braden Doyle. Kind of same question for you, Braden. Obviously, the biggest difference is stuff we're doing like this right now with COVID-19 still being prevalent. But for you on the ice, what's the biggest difference between where we left you in March last season and right now?
Yeah, so last year I think it was just a big year for me. Like coming from prep school is just a much different game, and like a lot faster, a lot like more physical, which I love the style of play. And obviously things kind of worked out last year just between like me and the other like teammates. And I think this year, the second year, like I knew like I really I thought it would be a good idea to come here instead of go back to college, because I just know how much I can get out of this place and how these coaches, like you have the best coaches in the league, are like for sure, and they care a lot, and it just rubs off on everyone on the team, and just a big year for development for me. And if I just take it like day by day and just focus on doing the little things, I think the rest will fall through.
And last but not least, we have Drake Burgin. Drake, coming over from the Manitoba Junior Hockey League. How did you get your start in hockey?
I played a bunch of sports when I was growing up, and I think my dad started taking me to skating lessons when I was around 4, and it was just something that I kind of stuck with growing up. And my dad had never played hockey, but me and him used to always he loved to skate with me all the time, and he loved learning just like I was learning. So me and him were learning both at the same time. And obviously he threw me into a bunch of hockey camps, and they put a lot into my hockey, but it's the sport that I stuck with growing up and kind of grew into as I aged out here. So.
Well, again, thank you all for joining us tonight, both the players and obviously the fans who are joining us. We know a lot about the style of play that Michael and Braden bring to the Fighting Saints, as evidence from watching Michael for the last 2 years and Braden last year. But I wanted to go down the line to the 3 new additions to the team. And Drake, we'll start with you. How would you describe yourself as a player for fans that have never seen you play before?
I'd like to describe myself as an offensive defenseman. I mean, obviously defense comes first when playing games, but any opportunity I have to jump in the play or contribute offensively, I like to try and get in the play. So,
And Ryan, same question for you.
I guess I'd describe myself as a hardworking two-way guy that does little things right. And I guess if I get an opportunity to create something offensively, then sometimes I can make something happen.
And Kenny, fans have at least been able to see you maybe at main camp the last couple years, but still not in any USHL game action with the Fighting Saints yet. So for those that didn't get a chance in main camp, how would you describe yourself as a player?
Yeah, probably just as like a two-way center, like a 200-foot player, someone like Jonathan Tays or like Bergeron. I like to play on like both sides of the ice and be able to defend as well as score.
Now, the question for you, Michael and Braden, is, again, I asked you coming back, what was the mentality? How much have you guys talked about, if at all, maybe some unfinished business from last season? We know you had a great team here. We know the caliber of player, and just the simple fact that the season couldn't be finished. We don't know what could have happened. But is there a lot of talk between the returners about maybe some unfinished business as a group?
Yeah, I think for sure it was unfinished business. We had a really good team last year, and I think when the season ended, I think that's when we were really putting it all together, and I think we really would have played our best hockey, and I think we definitely had a shot at it. So definitely there's a little unfinished business there.
Yeah, just as the returners know, like, and the coaches that were here last year, like, it was not a good feeling when we had to go home last year just because of how much we grew as a team. And I really think we would have went all the way last year just because of, like, who we were as a team. But it's great to see this year because we have those returners. We know what that, feeling is. We know how, we know we can get there again. And it's good to see all the new guys buying into that.
We have every single player here on this call is currently committed to a college. We got Michael Feenstra committed to Michigan State, Braden Doyle, Boston University, Kenny Connors, UMass Amherst, Ryan Alexander, Arizona State, and Drake Burgin very recently committed to St. Lawrence. Drake, if fans didn't see that on social media, just about a week and a half ago, you announced your commitment to St. Lawrence. What went into that decision, and how nice was it to be able to ink a commitment right before your USHL season starts?
Well, pretty much, I was talking to St. Lawrence for a while, and I really liked the way that they set everything up for me, all the Zoom calls, and they really seemed like I mattered to them. And I guess they even brought one of the professors for computer science on the call, which was amazing because going into this, I've never had a visit to a college yet or anything like that. So I didn't get a chance to kind of experience what I was going into. So with everything going on with COVID, they made it really easy, which definitely made my decision a lot easier of where I wanted to go for college. And being able to, commit before the season really helps because choosing a college is a very stressful situation. And being able to kind of get that done before the season allows me to focus on development as a player during the season and as well as focusing on helping the team win. So.
Ryan, you're committed to Arizona State. Since you've gotten here, have people already told you how many players in the last couple of years have committed to Arizona State or been committed to Arizona State and then played for the Fighting Saints?
Yeah, that's a lot of talk here about the Saints being a pipeline to Arizona, and I'm just happy to be a part of it then.
What excites you about Arizona State? Because it is a fairly new hockey program, one of the newest in the country.
Yeah, I just like everything about them, just their outlook on things, and when I committed there, I just had I think I committed there right when they were starting D1 program, and I just kind of had a gut feeling about them that they're gonna go through or come through on everything they said, and they just slowly became better and like the way they go about things, and I just had a gut feeling.
And Kenny, you're committed to UMass Amherst, probably most notable alumni in recent years, Cale Makar, now on the Colorado Avalanche. But when you look at that program and recently the success that they've had, what excites you the most about heading to UMass?
Yeah, I think the coaching staff was just a big part of it. Like those guys over there, they really think they're some of the best around, and just everything that was there was a good fit for me. So I think the fit personally was like the biggest decision going there, and just to see their success is something that is important to me.
As we get into this, I'm gonna just intersperse some questions that we got from fans before they join this call. So first one is for everyone. We'll go down the line. We can start with Kenny and then work our way. Ryan, Michael, Braden, and Drake. Any pets at home, and if so, what type of animal? And give me the names as well.
Yeah, I have 2 little French bulldogs, Gigi and Chloe. So they're a lot to handle around the house.
Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I got a dog named Gunner. Good dog. Had a turtle. I think we gave him away recently, but he's a good guy. Tommy. So yeah, those are the pets.
Feener?
Yeah, I got a dog back home. He's getting pretty old. He's about 12 years old at this point. He's a standard poodle German Shepherd mix. Yeah, he's been a great dog as well. And then me, Ryan, and Drake actually, we're all in the same billet house, and the billet house has 5 dogs. 5 dogs as of right now, 3 little ones, 2 big ones. So let's just say we always know when someone's pulling in the driveway.
Yeah. If our fans didn't know that, we've got 3 in the same billet house on this call, so we had to spread them out because of feedback issues. At Feener, it looks like you're in a bedroom, probably. Drake, yeah. I believe you're in a basement or some living room, and I know for a fact that Ryan's out in the garage right now. Just he got the short end of the stick. He was the last one. So. Braden, any pets back home for you?
Yeah, I have the best dog. He's 2 years old. It's a mini golden doodle. His name is Charles. It's the best. I miss him.
And Drake, is your dog? Do you have a dog? Is it better than Braden's? Was that self-proclaimed or?
Man, I do have a dog. I think it's way better than Braden's, but
oh wait.
Yeah, no. I also have 2 cats as well. So the cats are Lily and Ren, and then the dog is a Bichon Poodle mix. It's actually my grandma's, but she lives with us, and her name is Grace.
For Michael, Ryan, and Drake, is there anyone that gets along with the dogs best? Anyone that gets along with them worse? Or
I probably get along with the dogs the best, easily.
Whoa.
Agree
well,
to
yeah.
disagree.
What do you mean? I've been here longer. It's the easy choice.
I don't know.
I mean, but like, I don't know. Like, Molly's always knocking on my door. Like, I'm not trying to flex or anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cooper.
Next question goes into more hockey than pets here. And we'll start with Braden. Fans want to know how you get pumped for a game. Is there anything special that you do?
I guess on the ride, because I have a 20-minute ride to the rink every day from my billet house. So just that ride alone, me and Stella usually ride together, and he's on aux, he's playing his Swedish pump-up music. And then in the locker room, what really gets me going is, like, we'll always do, like, a pregame, like, just with all the boys and the speaker in the room. Like, Reggie's usually on aux, and we get a little pumped up just before we get right on the ice.
What is Swedish pump-up music?
I wish I could tell you. I don't even know.
Peter, do you have any Swedish pump-up music incorporated into your pregame routine?
No, I couldn't say I do. I don't know. I don't know if I know any Swedish pump-up music, to be honest.
What do you do to get pumped for a game?
I don't know. It's not much different than, like, what Doyle said. I think not necessarily about getting pumped up, but I try to have the same routine going into the rink every day. I try to stretch at the same time. I try to eat a snack at the same time. I try to get started getting dressed at the same time, just so that everything flows nicely, I guess.
Kind of going off of what Michael just said for Ryan, Drake, and Kenny, do you guys have any hockey superstitions or any routines before a game or just in general? Ryan, maybe start with you.
I guess the only real routine I have is I like to take a moderately long shower in the dark. It's a good little routine I got going. Get the mind ready, I guess.
Nice. Kenny, how about you?
Not really. I'm usually just like a left to right guy putting equipment on, but nothing more than that.
How does something like that start? Is it just happens and then you continue with it, or was there ever a reason for that?
I don't know. Maybe because you read left to right. Maybe that was the factor going into it. Just a lot of left to right stuff, but it's always been that way, I guess.
And Drake, any superstitions or routines at least?
I guess my superstitions would be like similar to Mike's. Is I do all of this stuff before the game, like similar times. I used to tape my stick at the same time, go to the gym at the same time, always play like sewer before a little bit. And I guess one of the superstitious things I would do is before every game, me and one of the guys on my team last year used to have a handshake. So we used to make sure we did that before every game. And yeah, I don't know. I just tried to stay loose and have fun, and kind of having a light mindset helped me play a lot better. So
How intricate did that handshake get? Was it 5 steps? Was it 20 steps?
I mean, we tried to go I think it was about 5. We tried to go a bit more, but it just got too messed up and we couldn't do it quick. So
Awesome. Well, again, we thank everyone for joining us here tonight. We got about 10 minutes left, and do have a couple more fan questions we want to get to, but I want to go down the line again. A question here for every player. We'll start with Ryan. You're coming over from the OJHL, again, Canadian Junior Hockey, 2 seasons there, and then now you're first in the USHL. What were those 2 seasons like, and what did you learn there that you think you can take into this season with the Fighting Saints?
The seasons were, I guess, to start in junior, and just obviously a jump physically. So, I mean, that kind of got me ready to go in this year. And then, yeah, I guess it's more of a confidence thing. Like you play junior 2 years, you get comfortable in the league, and you slowly build confidence. And, yeah, like trying to work on little things like keeping your head up, making decisions quick. I mean, definitely got ways to go, but hopefully a little bit of it translates.
Kenny, you were drafted 2 seasons ago by the Saints. You've been in the program for a couple of years now, but still one of the younger players on the team. Having said that, where have you seen yourself develop the most in the last 2 years that's allowed you to come into camp feeling confident?
Yeah, I would just think that I added some weight on so that I wouldn't be pushed around as much, and just that I was physically able to. And like over at Mount, they worked a lot with us, like developing us with our skating and stuff, so that we were able to get to the next level. So I think Mount just did a really good job preparing us to the next level.
And Drake, for those, again, that don't know, we're coming up with some facts here. The MJHL Defenseman of the Year, when you talked about offensive defenseman over 60 points. Where do you want to grow this year, though? Because it seems like, again, on paper, you've got the offensive side figured out. Do you still want to grow there? Are there areas on the offense you want to grow, or where exactly do you see yourself in a year as a player?
Well, there's always areas you can grow as a hockey player. I mean, there's a lot of different parts to the game, but defensively, there's a couple things I want to work on, and as well as offensively for sure. I know one of the things that I wanted to work on after one of the practices was zone entries. It's something that you're not taught as much as a defenseman because you're usually the guy hanging back, but it's something that's kind of becoming new age as defensemen rush the puck. So it's definitely something I'd like to work on, and there's a couple more things, but that's kind of the main stuff.
I got an individual question for Braden and Michael, but first, this question is a fan question that would also work for both of you before we get into that. And it's, you're back for another season in the USHL, going to be traveling on the road here. So, Michael, we'll start with you. 1 or 2 of your favorite places to play in the USHL that aren't Dubuque?
That's a tough one. I'd probably say Sioux Falls is definitely one of them because they just have like a pro-style rink. Like you walk in there and you really get the feeling of like you're playing almost pro hockey, and they usually pack it pretty well, so the fans get going, gets pretty loud. That's a good place to play. Another one, probably Fargo. Fargo, I think their presentation is just really well. Again, it almost feels like a pro game. It's just really fun to play in.
Braden, how about you? Agree with those? Have a couple more to add?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with just Sioux Falls, just because of the pro aspect of it, just that experience, and I guess also just like maybe Cedar Rapids, just because I love when like the fans get into it, or just like it's crazy.
Yeah, CR Waterloo one that I talked to some of the guys who left from last year's team, also loving that atmosphere. And again, for fans in here, obviously they've probably seen Cedar Rapids won't be participating in the season, so we'll miss that rivalry. But Waterloo should be fun once again this season. Michael, the question for you is, and it's pretty simple, so I guess you can, give me a very deep answer because that's your personality to really go in depth with this type of stuff. So, what excites you most about this season?
I think there's a lot to be excited about. We have a lot of young guys this year, and I think they'll be able to step in and make a difference right away. And then I think we also have a really great group of returners, and I think so far we've meshed pretty well, and I think we already have like a pretty good dynamic going in the locker room. And I think that's something to really look forward to this season.
And Braden, you can speak well on this because you were part of that coaching staff, or part of the team with the coaching staff last year. But in a lot of social media interviews and on the podcast, Oliver David has detailed kind of how close-knit the coaching staff is and what they bring to the table. How good has that coaching staff been? Because I even think you said earlier that, feel they're the best in the league. What have Evan and Justin brought to the table, and what does OD do well that has led to success last year and, again, you think this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a difference from like any experience I've ever had with a coach. They just like you can just tell too, like they're all about it. Like OD always says, like be about it, and like just his own actions, like that will get the boys. Like he leads by example, and like coaches as well. And we got really lucky with the 2 assistant coaches as well, because they're just like OD. They're dedicated. It's all about details, and they really do care about our development and winning games at the same time, and they do a great job of making sure we're about it too.
Well, again, thanks everyone. We've got one more question. I thought this was a good one to end on, a fan question here, and we can go down the line because this could give some insight again to the maybe favorite hockey players or teams growing up from everyone. But for the 3 defensemen, we'll start with you. It was a dream line pairing, but since you're defenseman, we'll do a dream defensive pairing. So if you pair yourself up with any NHL player, past, present, which NHL player would you pick to be on your defensive pairing, and why? Braden, we'll start with you.
It's a tough one. I'm trying to pick a guy that's a pretty solid defenseman, can take care of the D zone, so I can have a little fun playing offense. But I mean, I kind of grew up just watching those flashy guys, so I couldn't really tell you. But
Best defense is a good offense, so you can just go all out offense if you want.
You're right. We can just go double offense. Just does it have to be like a player right now in the league?
Past or present?
Yeah, it's probably me and Bobby Orr would probably be a good pairing.
Yeah, that's a pairing that would put up a lot of points. Who knows how many you would get, but I think Orr would be able to carry that if you had any.
So many assists, probably. Yeah.
Drake, are you going with someone a little bit more current than Bobby Orr?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Cale Makar because we're both kind of offensive, but just to be able to watch him play, even from behind, I gotta make sure I cover the zone when he's up there. But no, he's a very impressive player, and I've loved watching him play lately. So I think I'm gonna go with Cale Makar.
Feena, you're last up for the D pairing. Who's lining up next to you?
All right. I'm going to go with Nicholas Lipstrom. I think he's a guy I really idolized actually as a young kid. Being a Red Wings fan my whole life, kind of idolized watching him play. I think he's just one of the smartest players to ever play the game, and I think just getting the opportunity to learn from him would be a great experience.
Alrighty, we'll move on to the forwards here. So you guys get to double up. You get to pick 2 players. Ryan, for you, who's lining up the other 2 forwards on your line?
If I could slot myself into the best fourth line in hockey of Matt Martin, Cal Clutterbuck, and Casey Cizikas, and take Cizikas' place, that'd be a dream come true.
That's a usually people surround themselves with the superstars. Those guys are pretty darn good doing their own right. So it's a gritty
just
answer.
Fan favorites, like energy guys. I don't know. I always loved that's my favorite line in hockey. So let's go.
I would agree with the best fourth line in hockey assessment there for sure. Kenny, are you going with some grinders or pure talent?
Oh, no, definitely not. I'd probably go with like McDavid and Ovechkin. I think that would be a good combination with McDavid's speed and Ovechkin's shot. I think that would work well.
Tough to go wrong with that combination for sure.
Yeah.
We hit 7:30. We've hit our allotted time. I want to give Braden the last word here as we head out. We've got a preseason game coming up, 2 preseason games here in less than a week. Obviously, the team hasn't been together that long, but you still have a good amount of practice left. Biggest things that you guys are trying to work on here to be ready for the preseason?
Well, I think we've all touched upon just like we've had these 2 weeks of training camp. We're all in shape. We've been going to work, skating 2 times a day, working out. So I don't think it'll be a problem like physically getting back. And right now we're learning our systems, learning how to play as a team, and it's looking like it's coming together. It could be a beautiful thing this weekend.
Absolutely. Very excited for the preseason to start Friday in Des Moines and then Saturday here at the Mystique Community Ice Center. Kenny Connors, Ryan Alexander, Michael Feenstra, Braden Doyle, and Drake Burgin, thanks for joining us tonight. Very excited to have you all here on the team. Thanks to all the fans for joining us. And for those signed up tomorrow, you have Jake Goldowski, Stephen Halliday, Dylan Herzog, Connor Kurth, Aiden McCarthy, and Finn Brown coming up. So 7 o'clock tomorrow for those 6. Again, guys, thanks for joining us, and take care. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.